to see if I can get Claude to do strategic profit model analysis of two companies. So the first thing I'm going to do is load up the instructor copy of that in-class activity. So this is the one where students compare Walmart and Signet Jewelers, and they compare these numbers up here as well as these financial indicators. They calculate things like cost of goods percentage, gross margin percentage, and then they end up by looking at the return on assets percentage, which is decomposed into net profit margin at times asset turnover ratio. And so then there's a number of questions that they answer down here, and I want to just see how Claude does based on this example right here. So so I load that in, and then I'm going to tell make sure that the DOLT MCP is loaded in so it can find. Can you do an SPM analysis like in the instructor copy for Dillard's and Macy's? I think I spell them with apostrophes. For 2024, use the DOLT database. We have to tell it what database to use. Calvin W. Business Management Benchmarks is the name of the database. And then main is the main branch. And use the view that is called. So we have a view in the database. If you go to the database, there's this view. And remember, view is kind of like a report. So you can run the review just like other queries, and it gives you a printout like this that you could save or whatever. And the one that produces the data exactly like on the page over here, if you're looking at the company side by side, or back here in the assignment, then you it's called company comparison, and then the year number and the view. So the one from like 2024, this would be the one from like 2024. And so here's the data that you would get. It looks just like this row of data right here. Starts off with the net revenue, cost of goods, gross margin, and it ends up with all the different ratios and the return on assets. So if we tell Claude it can use that view, which is called, what was it called? Company comparison, and then it's like year, but it's the actual year put in, and then view. So use the view that's called that to get the data to use for the SPM analysis. Do I need to tell it anything else? Be sure to do the analysis addressing the topics and questions asked in the example assignment. Okay, so we want it to do very similar analysis. Okay, and I guess that's good enough. So let's go. Let's see what it can do. Did I tell it which database to use? Yeah, I hope you perform an SPM for Dillard's and Macy's. Goes to see what tables there are, what views there are in the database. Now it's looking at the view. It's probably looking at the company comparison view. Yeah, there it is. So it's getting Dillard's and it's getting Macy's numbers. And here's what it's going to do. Oh, it's actually printing out pretty similar stuff to the assignment. I told it to stick with the assignment. So it's actually just answering the same questions as the assignment, but it's doing Dillard's versus Macy's. So that's good. That's kind of what we want. All right. And some of these answers are the same, clearly, right? Well, no. Yeah. Okay. Good. 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 So for Dillard's, all right. Let's see what it said. Nice discussion. It's in over here. It's finally getting to the ROA. So here's Dillard's model is high asset turn and profit margin is 9.2. Does it do a table with that stuff in it? It'd be nice if it did, an ROA calculation table. Well, no, it kind of just sticks with the way that output is in the assignment. Okay, so let's see. There's the net profit margin. Here's the SG&A percentage analysis. So it does that. It does a gross margin. Let's see what it. Dillard's has a slightly higher gross margin compared to Macy's. This relatively small difference indicates slightly better cost management. Okay, but not by much, right? More efficiency, inventory sourcing, better product mix, higher COGS percentage suggests less efficient cost management, slightly. Potentially more promotional pricing, larger scale, may create some inefficiency. Strategic, both companies operate in similar gross margin ranges, typical for department stores. The SG&A, Dillard's has significantly lower SG&A compared to Macy's. Woo! This 10% is substantial and can be explained with several factors. Geographical footprint. Dillard's operates mainly in smaller markets with lower retail costs, real estate costs, while Macy's major metropolitan store format. Okay, so factors explaining that difference in the SG&A. Good. Levers to impact SG&A. Dillard's continue leveraging small market advantages. Macy's store footprint optimization. Wow. Okay, despite Macy's much higher total revenue, Dillard's has significantly higher net profit. Okay, so here's the net profit margin. And it gives some reasons for those differences. I like that. Inventory turn discusses that. And now finally, high asset turnover with low net profit margins. High asset turn and higher net profit and low asset turn and lower net profit. Okay, so wow. So Macy's is going to get, I think, kind of beat out here, right? Conclusion, while Macy's has greater scale, Dillard's demonstrates superior financial force. 16.8 ROA versus 3.5. Wow. Yeah, okay. So I guess this example kind of shows Dillard's how it does things, at least for the ROA analysis. Okay, so this is pretty neat. I like it. Seems pretty complete. It's at least sounds right to me. I need to learn a little bit better some of the details here, but I do like what it's done. Okay.